Hear ye, hear ye. We have declared a new king and queen of the ring. We talk about this and more on the pod. Hello, everyone. This is the We Book It podcast. And of course, you've got me hosting again, Fritos, with Big Daddy C. And always, my lovely wise man, the coach. Mike, aka Virgil,
Gentlemen.
is returning back from his high sea adventures after getting some booty. And good news, Devin, aka Tank, has won his banana regional sucking off tournament. He is moving to the super junior sectionals of banana sucking. This is big. This is huge for us. He is spreading the word. He's doing God's work. God bless him.
Oh man.
He's gonna hate me
Oh,
when
God.
he comes back.
Took a bad time to take a drink.
So much shit.
Oh my gosh.
He's gonna hate me when he comes back.
Oh my gosh.
But before we go any further, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Please help us out. Remember, you scratch our back, we scratch your back. We have some fun content, but we need those subscribers. So if we get 500, I'm going to take a chop to the chest. It's going to be nice. I got my old wrestling gear. I'm ready to get in the ring and take my first official chop. You guys excited for that?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
We still don't know who's going to do it, but we're going to work those details out later. But anyways, how's your guys' weekend so far?
Busy. Giving out samples of alcohol.
Yeah, it's been
all day.
It's been a lot. Memorial Day weekend.
Mm-hmm. Any new booze you recommend?
Well, because I mean, everything I was giving out yesterday, I had the first 4 hours. I gave out samples of Malibu, so everyone knows about Malibu.
Yeah.
And then the second shift, I had the Crown Apple, Crown Peach, and Captain Morgan Spice Rum. So a lot of people actually like the peach. So I was kind of shocked. I'm more of a fan of Crown Apple, so I'm like, so yeah, it wasn't nothing new, I would say.
Well, I had a decent weekend. Got some stuff done, mowing my yard. Worked on the rut that my neighbor left, that 35-foot rut. Still don't want to talk about it. I hate my neighbors to this day. Other than that, attended to a local comic show. Got me some Pokemon cards I've been hunting for. Got some 2 classics, Kangaskhan and Tyranitar. You gotta love it. Had those in my collection as a child, and being a dumbass like I am, somehow got rid of them and lost them. So guess what? I'm rebuilding my old collection. But speaking of local, we decided we need to reach out to our local community. Support local, folks. We love the big time like WWE and AEW, but guess what? We got to support local, and we have some exciting stuff. Just like SummerSlam's heating up hot feuds, Springfield, Illinois is heating up some exciting wrestling. For example, at our Lucky Horseshoes at the Robin Roberts Stadium, we have Sergeant Slaughter making an appearance on July 2nd. Then, of course, everyone's favorite, hottest growing wrestling company, Micro Wrestling, is going to be here in Springfield on July 7th at Weebles. I'm excited. That's going to be super fun. I've had buddies go to that. They've had a blast. My old coworker went, and it was Hot Rod. If you watch the documentary, but he was one of the shows, and he took a plunger and plunged his mouth, like the handle of it. So he didn't get the whole toilet water, but it was in his mouth messing with him. It's actually kind of funny seeing it. But besides those wrestling things, speaking of July, NCAA football comes back. I'm taking a whole week off just to play the game. I've waited 11 years for this.
All right, serious question. Who are you starting your dynasty mode with first?
Toledo. Start small. I'm still in all the 5-star recruits. I'm building Toledo up.
All right.
For
See,
me,
what about you?
Obviously, me being a Michigan fan, I'm gonna start with Michigan, and then once I'm gonna do two like simultaneously. I'm gonna have Michigan, and then I'm gonna do like a smaller school. You know what? I'm gonna stick with the Big Ten, and I'm gonna help out. I'm gonna help out the big sister of my alma mater and help out Illinois. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna help out Illinois and turn them into something, man.
They need
I'm
some
gonna have
help.
to turn them. Yeah, man. Help out the Big Ten since we got all these new teams in the Big Ten now. We're basically gonna be the next big thing in terms of top tier conferences. So I mean, we're already top tier conference, but like, yeah, SEC is not what it used to be. So now I feel like we're like Big Ten is definitely gonna be like the premier conference that everyone's gonna be talking about all year round. So
I mean, it's not the Midwest anymore. It's literally the whole country.
It's everywhere.
Like,
it's everywhere.
like all these Western teams. I'm like, come on, man. I'm like, what is happening here? I was like, good luck, Michigan, because y'all gonna need it. And then they expanded the playoffs, so now it's not just 4 teams anymore. I'm like, so now instead of 2 games, you got to they got to buy. I think the top 2 teams get like a bye. So, I mean, if you ain't one of the top 2 teams, then hey, good luck. You got to play 3 games in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 or 4 depending on, because I think they extended it 6 or is it 12? You guys?
It's 12 now.
Okay, so it's probably about what, 4 games? 3 or 4? About 3 or 4 games?
3 or
depending
4,
on
yeah.
the seeding?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
Who are you starting out with, Coach?
I got to go with Buffalo University.
Start small, work the way up.
Make them know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Buffalo.
That's where Khalil Mack
is the team to
win,
see, not the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo University.
He made it known, not the Buffalo Bills.
Let them know.
I mean, they might as well just be an NCAA team with everyone leaving and just being so damn old. I mean, yes, that was a shot at Buffalo.
Right.
You guys, it's been a rough offseason. I feel for you guys. But we do have one more little fun local wrestling news. At the Lucky Horseshoes, they announced they are having a Robin Roberts Rumble, and they've announced 2 wrestlers going to be there. They announced that EC3 and Colt Cabana are going to be there on September 21st. I'm excited. Hopefully we get our tickets soon, guys. Do a little VIP, do some meet and greets.
We definitely need to go there.
Yep.
Go for that one.
And micro wrestling. That one's going to be fun.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be fun to go to. I mean, we've seen the little people wrestle in WWE before, so it wouldn't be anything new.
Mm-hmm. All right. The legend. He is a legend.
Mm-hmm.
All right, gentlemen. You ready to start this off? All right. We had actually a really exciting week of wrestling. And start off with Raw. Let me get my notes out here, if it wants to load. Show started off with Sami Zayn welcoming the crowd, talking about the triple threat match. Then we had Chad Gable and the Alpha Academy coming out. Chad talking about it and literally gaslighting the whole academy as normal because of the Perk Hill angle going on. You suck, Chad. Oh, sorry. I had to do that because he sucks. As Pat McAfee kept saying going on. Match starts with them 2 going on. And, Chad kicked out Tozawa and Maxine Dupree for not, having a chance to take a little cheap shot at the champ and getting all mad at them. Then you see Otis there, contemplating, should he do it? He doesn't. Second time, he cheap shot Mr. Sami Zayn, and then Mr. Gable won the match. What are your guys' thoughts?
I think that this is probably the most, besides entire Punk, I think this is the second most important storyline that's going on right now. Mainly because of the work that Chad Gable's doing as a heel. And it threw a twist there on Monday when Otis got involved and gave us a heel turn with his work. So that added a layer that I was not expecting, because I was thinking, Otis, he's going to stay true to himself and he's not going to interfere. But then he did. And that got me even more intrigued. And of course, we come to a head at King and Queen of the Ring. We'll talk about that later on in the show. But I love this storyline. This is my favorite one going on right now.
Same, especially since everyone knows I'm a big Otis fan. When he did that cheap shot, I felt it in my soul. I wasn't mad. I was just feeling the hurt because he's hurting. He's just listening to his coach, and his coach is, turned to the dark side. It's bad. I don't like this. He sucks. He is a terrible person. Big Daddy, your thoughts?
For me, I just want it to be over and done with, to where he actually, him and Otis are done, so we can really see what the new faction is going to be. Obviously, I mentioned it before. Like for me, I don't want them to drag it on too long. Like just let it happen the way it needs to happen. That way we can see Gable fully become heel, perk Gable, without actually taking perks.
Maybe he might do it. Go full character.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want because obviously Otis is like one of those beloved wrestlers where
he's
being
the Chris
heel
Farley of wrestling.
Yeah, him being heel doesn't work. He has to be face because everyone loves him. So and then obviously Maxine Dupree hurt, having hurt. Like a lot of people were crapping on her, but now people are starting to, be on her side because she's actually showing improvement. While there have been former female wrestlers that were trash in the ring and did not care about improving whatsoever. Eva Marie. And so, yeah. Yeah. And so I like when people show improvement and willing to show improvement, even though they're not, the best in the ring yet, and so, but yeah, I just want to see Chad go ahead and get the new feud going, the new stable going on, and see how far they can take that. Because we got SummerSlam coming up, so obviously you want almost every storyline to be top tier going into the pay-per-view. They're gonna be in Cleveland for SummerSlam. I don't know what they're gonna do for Clash for Gable. I would imagine him and Sammy have another rematch. And so we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, those are my thoughts.
All right, now moving on. Sorry, folks. Throat. Where is it? Sorry. Technical difficulties. All right, it goes straight into a little segment with Jackie Redmond interviewing Alpha Academy, talking about. Then we hear a big, loud clash going on. It was LWO, and they had someone get hurt. Sorry, shows here. Damn phones. I hate them. You can't live without them.
Man, real.
But the next match after that was Braun Breaker versus Kel Dixon. It was going to be a typical squash match, and it was. And dear God, he was mad. You could see him in the corner contemplating what's going on. He's upset about his booking. He's upset about everything. And he took his frustrations out on Kel Dixon. He hit him with not just one, not two, but 3 of the dirtiest spears I've ever seen, gentlemen. Then afterwards, taking his aggression out on him on the stairs with a steel chair. that dude's career might be done. Dear Lord. We're
Yeah.
getting a full hill Braun Breaker, and he is on a full rampage. I'm excited to see what's going to happen this following Monday with it. But your guys' thoughts?
I think I'm curious to see who steps up to the plate and actually goes against him. I don't think it is going to be anybody top tier yet. Probably be somebody. Well, I won't say top tier, but like I don't think it'll be any. Maybe Jay Uso, like somebody of that
Good one.
caliber. I think. Yeah, I think somebody to step up because he needs that first legit opponent to go against. Doesn't necessarily have to be somebody his size or bigger, in terms of like super heavyweights or like super strong athletic guys. Um, I think they wanna get to the point where they book him like correctly because obviously the guy is talented as all hell, and you don't want to waste him. And I trust Triple H. And so I think it's just a matter of just waiting to see what happens. Because the potential is there, the talent is there. Like that man, I don't think I've ever seen anybody outside of maybe Goldberg, somebody that size or like that type of build that moves that fast. Like, man, like just seeing him go bounce off the run, like
He's a freak athlete.
it was just like watching. It was like watching something out of a movie.
It's a missile.
Yes, well,
It's a
like without
heat-seeking missile.
CGI,
He's just
no,
ready for chaos.
no special effects, no CGI, none of that. Like it's just straight up pure speed. I'm like, bro, what? I'm like, I'm like, man, they got to do something. They got to do right by him, man. Like, don't put a title on him too fast, but like let him like if you
Slowly
gotta
build.
have him go on a super streak, and yeah, like just do it. Like, but he needs a lot of momentum coming into these like summer pay-per-views, man, because these summer pay-per-views, especially the ones that they like doing overseas, you want to have a lot of your younger talent um, having a lot of momentum going into the pay-per-views. Um, so yeah, I think I like what I saw, man. I'm like, keep bringing it. I just don't want to see it against local competitors anymore. like,
After that, they probably
you only
won't.
do it. I'm like, I can only take so many weeks of local competitors being squashed on Monday nights, man. Like, I'm like, we need some talent that's already on the roster. Like, we need this.
What do you think,
Somebody that's gonna
Coach?
put up a fight.
Yeah. Well, I think his first rivalry, they kind of planted that seed in the show when he had Ricochet while he was talking to Dragunov. So I think the first rivalry will probably be against Ricochet going forward. How long it's going to be, I'm not sure,
It's
but
always Ricochet.
man,
It's always Ricochet, man.
I know, man.
I feel like
They hate that man.
oh yeah, you just started out. Yeah, you just starting out on the main roster. Oh, here's Ricochet for you. But not no disrespect to Ricochet.
But yeah,
He's a good opponent to go
that
against.
segment
Yeah.
as a whole.
And we're talking about the speed. It works. Braun has speed. Ricochet has speed. It's a perfect combination. So, I think the match itself will be nice. I'll give you that. So I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I just find it funny. Ricochet is always like the first person they throw out at anybody that's like debuting on the main roster and they're trying to have a good first feud to start out with.
Mm-hmm. Any thoughts, Coach? Or
yeah, I thought overall a great segment.
All right. Now moving on, we had the semifinal Queen of the Ring round. Damage Control's Io Sky versus Light Rivera, Valkyrie. Gentlemen, can you please count down with me and say it? 1, 2, 3. Piss break.
Piss break.
It was my piss break.
Snooze fest.
Those two had a great match. Lyra came out on top. I mean, is there really much more to say? There's
Nope.
just not a lot of build up for me for this side of the bracket for Queen of the Ring. So for me,
Yeah.
my piss break. But nothing
Yep.
against them. They did great. It was just the Raw side of the women's bracket was the weaker side for sure. And spoiler alert, it showed at the pay-per-view this weekend. Your guys, what's your thoughts?
I totally agree. I have nothing much to add to it. I just agree. Yeah, it was underwhelming for sure.
After watching what happened on Saturday, the pay-per-view, I understand why they made Lyra go instead of Io, and I'll just leave it at.
I didn't think of that. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. We would have seen a murder on TV.
Just leave it at that.
I mean, we did see a murder, but dear God.
That
would have been like a scene from.
We would have seen Io on the we would have seen Io on the episode of Grey's Anatomy, boy. It would have been crazy.
God, an episode of ER.
We got a patient here. Squashing a professional wrestling event. Big 300-pound Samoan crashed down on top of her. Got a chest fracture. Like, I can just see it now. I've been watching too much Grey. I've been binge watching Grey's Anatomy since last month, and I'm like on season 7 already. I don't watch too much, man.
I haven't watched it since with my mom, but dear God. All right, now moving on, we had another backstage segment. R-Truth talking to New Catch Republic, hopefully teasing a new feud with them. Then they were talking, Miz and R-Truth were talking about their match, praying for, help. He's got Andre the Giant helping him. Miz, praying to Andre's spirit, please, watch out. And R-Truth having a little comedic moment. Who you talking to? And they say, I'm the crazy one. Comedic gold of R-Truth. And I'm hoping that they do build that feud up with New Catch Republic. I think they are going to be the ones to take the titles off of them. Maybe it's SummerSlam, guys? Yep. Oh, okay.
Or Clash of the Castle.
I think maybe in the bank.
Ooh. But it's coming up soon. All right.
Yeah, that's probably it. Clash of the Castle.
I was thinking Clash of the Castle because aren't they both from the UK?
Yeah. So that would make sense.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Then moving on, we had another segment as we were talking about Dragunov having his little interview, then Ricochet talking to him. Then out of nowhere, Braun Breaker literally squashing Ricochet. I mean, like you guys said, it's probably going to be his first feud is with Ricochet, and dear God, hopefully he doesn't get speared as badly as Kel Dixon going on in that feud. Let's see. Then it goes to Gunther cutting a promo about Jay. Oh, shoot. My phone just glitched. Damn phones, like I said. Then we see the Judgment Day backstage of Carlito, Finn, and JD talking with Priest, talking about Latino World Order stuff. Let's see. Oh, then we get a surprise return. Sonya Deville talking to Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark, guys. She's a big return. She's going to help boost that women's division up. Excited about that. They had some weird eyes going on there, too. I don't know what that was going on about. That was a little odd. Then comes my favorite match. We have a Awesome Truth versus Judgment Day. I'm going to call it the new Judgment Day since Priest is not in the tag team picture anymore. It's JD and Finn. They go at it. Carlito comes in and interferes. Then who comes out for the big save? Wasn't Andre the Giant? No, it was the monster, Braun Strowman, taking out Carlito and helping Awesome Truth win. But my favorite part was it's on X. My favorite match going on, it was two fans fighting in the crowd during that time. If you guys haven't seen it, look it up. That's the best part of the match going on.
Oh wow, we get fans fighting. Oh, like that. That's a rarity.
It was a mixed. It was a mixed match.
Mm-hmm. Equal rights, equal fights, folks.
Intergender
That's how they
match
do it. Your guys' thoughts on the tag team?
You can go first, Coach.
It was. I mean, it was okay. It was an okay segment. It was there to build that tension and day more, and that was really all I thought it was. And then just Braun Strowman getting him back into the swing of things. It was just okay. Nothing really stood out about it besides Strowman coming back. And like you said, Fritos, I think the most interesting match was happening in the stands and not actually on the mat.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, I thought it was a pretty good match. Obviously these four guys in the ring, good veterans in the ring. It's always a good turnout. I do like the addition, Carlito being part of the Judgment Day. Well, at least potentially, and then seeing Braun actually be back involved, in the storyline since he's been back. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen with this. I don't know. Outside of this, I don't know what they're going to do with Braun. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but hopefully this is the end of the Judgment Day getting tag team championship opportunities, because it's time for other tag teams to get their shots.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad the Judgment Day lost. So now we can see Newcastle Republic or other tag teams, get an opportunity at the tag team championship. So,
because I'm curious with the Braun angle now too, because I know when Bray passed, he said he was going to try to honor Bray and win the title for him. So I don't know if he's going to butt his head in, try be part of the World Heavyweight title, because right now, especially after this past weekend, there's a lot of speculation, at least on our ends, of what's going to be. I know before Coach came on, it was just me and Big Daddy talking. He came up with a good idea. I have a good idea. We'll talk about it a little bit later on of what they could do at SummerSlam after this pay-per-view and also after Clash of the Castle. But now, all right, moving on. We had a little segment with Lyra and Becky, a little Irish gal going on. Then we had another segment with Otis and Sami Zayn, and Sami talking to Otis saying, I know what you've been through. I've been there. Referring to the Bloodline days when he was in there and how he got out. He can help him. Otis apologizing. You can see Otis is really distraught with that cheap shot. So I'm glad that, we can see that distraught. We can see that he's mixed about this going on. And it's just building up more of that character, that lovable character we always love of Otis. All right, then, gentlemen, say it again with me, because we had a promo, and this was, again, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, God.
Fist break.
It was a promo off with Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch.
Major.
It was unbearable to watch for me. I don't want to go in detail of it. It was just, that's how bad it was. And Coach is gone. Wow, you see what that promo did?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Moving on.
Oh, that was so bad.
Then we have another little backstage segment. Kofi and Austin. God, if I could talk today. Who is it? Kofi and Xavier Woods. I don't know why I say Austin. I'm so out of it. And back there in the medical room, finding out that Xavier Woods is cleared. Yay! We get another star back. But then out of nowhere, Karen Cross and Scarlett show up. it's kind of weird seeing them there because Karen says there's always what is it? There's always time to always time to turn things around. So I don't know if we're gonna get the Karen Cross effect on the New Day and they turn heel and break up. Is one of them gonna join their faction? You guys got any thoughts on that? Because this is the second consecutive time they've talked to them.
This is one of those.
I'm thinking this leads to a heel turn for the New Day.
Do you think they break up? That's what some fans are speculating on X, I've seen, and on TikTok, that maybe they break up.
I don't think so. I think they're going to stick together, but they're definitely going to be turning heel soon.
I don't know. I think it's one of those situations where it, like, I feel like the New Day, they were great for the time in which they were in the previous era of WWE, and I think it's just one of those situations where it's time to end it because at this point I don't see Big E coming back anytime soon, or at all, based on what he has told us, told everyone in regards to his status of like potentially never being cleared. So I think it's just one of those things where it like the New Day has run its course. It'll be sad to see because they provided a lot of comedic moments for us, a lot of good rivalries. You got the Usos, Judgment Day, so many other tag teams they've had feuds with over the years. I think it's just it's just time for them to, go their separate ways. Kofi being a former, world champion, I just feel like he definitely needs to try to branch out, do something else now. Now, does that mean joining Karrion Kross's crew? I don't know. But I think for the most part, I think, yeah, it's just time to break up the New Day. So regardless if they both go heel or one turns on the other, I think it's just time that they just go their separate ways.
Yeah, it's gonna suck. Everyone knows I'm a huge nerd, as you could tell back here. And one of my favorite moments was WrestleMania when they came out with the DBZ, the Dragon Ball Z gear. I loved it. If they break up, I will cry. I will cry tears. I wish Big E was still in the group. Even I know he right now physically unable to, but if he was back as a managerial role, I would love it. I think that's the one thing about New Day right now. It's kind of just blush, just because without Biggie, it's not New Day. It's just something completely different.
Yeah. It doesn't hit the same anymore.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
And we still wish Biggie a healthy recovery soon from his neck.
Indeed. Yes, indeed.
Now, going on, we had a fatal four-way match for the women's tag team with Damage Control, Kairi Sane and Dakota Kai, Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark versus Kaden Carter, and Katana Chance versus Ivy Nile. If I could say, God, I can't talk today, gentlemen. And Maxine Dupree, which we had Shayna and Zoe taking the win. I mean, match was all right. Chaos is always in a fatal four-way tag team match. Any thoughts? I mean, for me, the highlight was Maxine. You could tell each time she gets in the ring, she improves a little bit and a little bit. So for me, that's more of a highlight of her, her improving overall. Your guys' thoughts?
I didn't care about this match, man. Like, just based on what happened prior, like the promo prior to this match with Sonya Deville coming back, and what was it? That was before this match, right?
A couple segments before, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So after that, and then knowing that this match is coming up, I was like, yeah, it's looking like they're gonna have Shayna and Zoe start do their thing and win the match because Shayna just got she had got beat up on NXT by Lola Vice or whatever her name is. And
Mm-hmm.
so that kind of knocked her out of the NXT picture. And so I was like, yeah, she gets to be back on the main roster. And so I was like, yeah, might as well do something with her and Zoe Stark. So I think they'll. I don't know if they're gonna beat Bianca and Jade though. I don't know, man. Like I don't see it. I don't see it.
I mean, they are strong women.
Yeah, they are, and they're submission specialists. You know, they can fight with the best of them. So they'd probably be the best tag team to that can knock out that could potentially knock off Bianca and Jay. I just don't see it happening. I just don't because I feel like why make the title reign short? Like you want them to have this title at least until SummerSlam, and then have them lose it if y'all decide to go that route. But you got to have believable opponents. So I think Shayna and Zoe are the best believable out of these four tag teams. Because Damage Control, y'all know how I feel about them. I'm tired of seeing them on my TV screen. And so nothing against Maxine Dupree and Ivy now. I think that they're just not ready yet. Katana, I love Katana and Caden, but they've already had their moment in the sun with the tag team championships. But I think it's time for Zoe and Shayna to do their thing and try to see if they can knock off the big dogs. So,
Any thoughts, Coach?
So the other thing I see happening with this feud match between them, and this is when Sonya developed the picture that she is the special guest referee for it.
Ooh.
And I think that's how they're going to get the titles off of Jade and Bianca. Not make it not clean, but obviously kind of like a Montreal screw job because you have a Sonya Deville trying to give Zoe and Shayna the tag. That's what I think. I think that's the kind of route they're going with this because if you remember, I was a referee for a little bit, WWE. So I will rehash that storyline or not, but that's kind of what I'm thinking is going to happen.
That'd be interesting. Kind of dig it. Then moving on, we had a backstage. We had a lot of backstage stuff going on. Jeez. Woo. Kaiser having a little interview talking about Sheamus. Then Drew McIntyre coming on, being upset how Pierce didn't schedule him for one of the biggest stars tonight, being upset. Which don't worry, he is getting his shot at that title. Bloop, bloop, spoiler alert. It's going to be Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest Clash of the Castle. That'll be a fun match. Then we get another little segment backstage, which got a little interesting. Chad Gable was talking to the Creed brothers for a bit before Otis coming up. He's still feeling upset. And Chad said, don't worry, stick to the plan. I'm going to take care of you. I've got all your papers. It's going to be fine. Gentlemen, they are planting the seeds heavy that night with the Creed brothers. Ooh, I'm getting excited. It's going to be fun. Let's see. Then we come to our main event of the night. The match we've all been looking forward to. Gunther versus main event Jey Uso. Which I'm the booker. I thought it was going to be Jey and Tonga. Well, I was wrong. Gunther came out as victorious, which I'll take the L on this one. I'm happy Gunther won the match because we got a banger of a match at the pay-per-view. Your guys' thoughts?
Solid match. Very solid for both men involved good near falls. And I liked that even though they lost, he still looked strong in the loss. Because the only reason, I mean, he was passed out, and they gave Gunther the victory. So that when you're a face, showing that resilience entices you more with the audience. I think that was a great storyline developer for Jay of like, hey, yes, he still hasn't won yet, but he's not gonna give up. He's gonna keep trying. So I think it was great all the way around for that segment and for that.
Thoughts, Big Daddy? See?
So I watched a little bit. I think like the second half of the match. Man, Jay, Jay got his ass whooped, man. The second half of the match, it was not looking pretty. After he hit the splash on him and he went back again and it didn't work out and then Gunther just pummeled this man and just like, bro, like we knew Jay, he did not stand a chance, man. It was like it was not gonna happen. Like the momentum, Gunther, it was a given. Like he was gonna win this whole thing, man. And so, obviously Jay is to be respected. Curious to see what happens from here on out. You know, but yeah, it was a good match. I just felt bad for Jay, man, because it was looking ugly. It was looking ugly.
It was. Now it just kind of gets me curious. I mean, he calls himself Main Event Jay Uso.
Haven't had many main event matches recently.
And just not pulling, the trigger on the big ones, guys. I mean, almost like the LA Knight, how Carmelo called him out on that this past week.
Yeah.
Your guys' thoughts about that? I mean, they need to do something. I thought maybe the King of the Ring that would help, with the main event, name going on, the gimmick. He needs to do something. He's got to win a title soon. You think he's going to be in the IC title or the heavyweight maybe later on? I mean, he already had his match with Damian, but he's maybe after all the Summer Slam stuff going on.
I don't know if I don't know if one of y'all mentioned it last week, or I think I heard it somewhere. It might have been one of you two that mentioned it, where it's one of those situations where you are who you're meant to be. I feel like Jay, he's meant to be a tag team guy, honestly. Like, don't get me wrong. I love his theme song. Like he's good. He's better on his own than Jimmy is. I will give him that. He's a lot better, but it's just one of those situations where when you got so many other top tier talent that can have a mid card title or a world title, like it's just like he's just swimming in an ocean full of big sharks, man, and you get lost in the shuffle. And I feel like that's where he's at right now. I'm like, you lost King of the Ring tournament, you lost the World Championship match. Your brother turned on you, even though you beat him at Mania. Like, now the bloodline turned on your brother, and now eventually he's gonna come back and help you in whatever way that is, or you're gonna help him once he comes back. Then y'all gonna feud against the bloodline. So whenever that time comes, that's exactly what's gonna happen. He's gonna end up back with his brother, and he's back in the tag team. So that's why I said you are who you're meant to be. And I feel like they came in as a tag team. They're going to end their careers as a tag team. It's unfortunate. Like everyone can't have that opportunity like it was with Matt and Jeff, how they were able to go on and do things as solo wrestlers. Like they legendary tag team, but legendary in their own right as singles competitors. So like with the Usos, not so much. Hell, even I would say, even with the Dudleys, at least in WWE, like even though they never got the opportunity, Devon did in a way, but it didn't work. Like
It did not.
Devon with Deacon Batista, it just didn't work out.
No.
He still had a partner at the end of the day. And so, but in TNA, it was different. You know, they were able to do their own thing, but still, they were still like together in some form and a way. But Bully was able to be a world champion and do his thing on his own. Not every tag team has that, you know, opportunity or that, you know, the skill set to do that. Like, you know, Jay, like I said, Jay is better off than Jimmy being on his own, but you get lost in the shuffle. So I just feel like, all right now he's good, but over time, if they can't find anything meaningful for him to do, he's going to end up back with Jay, which we all expect to happen later on this year. So, yeah.
Any thoughts, Coach?
No, I think C hit it on the head with everything. I think that's the route Jay's going, unfortunately. I hope he gets a C picture, but right now with what they're doing, Gable and Sammy, I think it's with something that's cooking right now.
All right, that's fair. Now moving on, we had a banger of a show on Smackdown in Saudi. And with that recap, Big Daddy C, you're in control.
Okay.
Tell us.
All right. So it was the final SmackDown before the pay-per-view. So basically, pretty much every superstar they were, you know, whether they were involved with the pay-per-view or not, they were pretty much in Saudi for the weekend. And so the show started off with, so we started out with Bianca versus Nia. And last week's show pretty much set the tone for what was going to happen with this match. Bianca having, you know, dealing with the injury and all the pregnancy rumors, which we now know were those negative. And so so it was pretty, you know, fast-paced match. They took the time to sell everything, and you know there were big moments that happened throughout the match. Bianca kept trying to hit Nia with the KOD, but it didn't work out because of the knee. And Nia took advantage and hit her with the splash finisher or whatever it's called. Seemed like every Samoan has that finisher, but yeah, finished it out with a clean win. And so I didn't really care for that match. I love Bianca, but I knew the writing was on the wall when Nia beat Jade. So I was like, yeah, that's what was going to happen. Obviously, all the women have to be in bodysuits due to the whole requirements for Saudi Arabia. And then after that, let's see here. Lyra was watching the match from the front row, so that was an interesting development there. I will say, in the moment Nia beat Bianca, I was like, Lyra, please, man. For a little split second, I was like, please, they gotta have Lyra beat her, like just off a miracle, please, Lyra, you're our only hope, please. And then after that, I was like, Lyra. I'm like, okay. Normally, whoever wins Queen or King of the Ring, they're typically heel. They're normally never face. So I was like, Lyra's face right now. So I was like, they gotta have a heel win it. It's only right. I'm like, that's the gimmick. Like, if you're King or Queen of the Ring, you're more often than not a heel. So I was like, here we go. I'm like, hey, they're gonna give it to Nia. All right, so moving on. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Your
Oh, you're
thoughts?
good.
Your thoughts on the match?
You see, this hosting thing isn't easy. This is why we leave it to
Man.
Virgil. It's hard. Please come back. Don't go on vacation again.
Yep.
Yeah, because because obviously as I'm recapping, I want to get my thoughts out there so that way y'all can just talk about it. I ain't got to worry about giving mine. So I just figure I get mine in between as I'm recapping. But yeah. What are your thoughts, guys?
Coach, you could go first. Speak the words, my wise man.
Well, I I'm with you there, C. One, I knew that was probably route they were going to go, and I found it more funny because of the heat that Jax has developed throughout her career. I think has gotten a lot better from when her pre WWE run, but I just love everyone on X and social media just losing their mind because she's getting the wins and everything, and I just find that part kind of funny. The match, and if it was more just that storyline of, hey, Bianca's still nursing that bad knee injury. Um, that way, it's protecting her from losing and not saying she lost clean. It's that stipulation of, oh, well, there's that asterisk. She was still kind of hurt. So I thought, all in all, good match. Kept the storyline moving. And I will point out that even though these two are not on podcast with us tonight, they are blowing up our group chat right now, talking about AEW Double or Nothing. We're trying to do a dang show, so why don't
Right.
get their butts on the show?
Right.
Well, we'll give Tank a break. He's got to practice. He's freezing the
Super Joe and
bananas so
Tank.
he can practice sucking them down. He's got to get ready for sectionals, guys.
Is
Remember,
Mike,
looking
is
at
Mike
you
still,
two.
is Mike still in Cali or he's back? Is he back?
he told me he was not coming back till about like 3 o'clock. So I don't know if he's got connecting flights or what.
Oh, okay. I got you. Makes sense. He probably didn't want to get on after dealing with flight. Makes sense. Jet lag.
But Tank, we'll give Tank a little, break since, he's got to get ready for sectionals next week, guys. He's got to bring us the championship. If he does not bring back us a championship, he's dead to us. But my thoughts on the match, thought it was a good match.
That's fair.
I'm with Bianca's, like the knee injury, them playing with that stuff. I could relate. I'm turning 30 this year, and every time I go upstairs now, my knees hurt, my knees pop. I'm getting old. My body's telling me it's almost time to go, guys. So I can relate to the knee stuff. But yeah,
my knee's been popping since I was 24, man.
It's terrible.
It's crazy, man. Like on my 30th birthday, literally when clock struck midnight, I heard a crack in my knee. It was just like it was rough, man. I was like, God, please. I'm like, if you wanna take me now, please. Like, I just don't want to deal with this, man. Like,
that's where I'm at. 29, knees popping. Anytime I squat down,
man, and then turning 31 this year, like I turned 31.
Oh, the squats are the worst, man.
Bro, like I'm like, can't do simple shit no more. I used to do. I'm like, man, I'm just putting on socks. Now, granted, I'm a big guy, so obviously I gotta lose weight, but like still. Like, I just need my knees to work with me to do simple shit in life, man. It's just like I'm like, I'll be at my job. I get up to go walk to the restroom. I'm hearing my knees just crack like bacon grease. Like it's just crazy, man. And I'm like, yeah, this being 30 is no joke. It's crazy. But go ahead, man.
Yeah, I'm over it.
Any more thoughts?
I'm over it. I mean, yeah, we all knew after the Jade match Nia was going to win. So, I mean, it is what it is. But here's a little fun fact. Getting my fiance into wrestling. She watches everything with me. She doesn't like watching every night, but she's watching it with me. And she's starting to slowly become a Nia Jax fan. She likes the character of Nia Jax. How she doesn't care. How she is with the crowd. All that. So, if there is one fan, my fiance is a Nia Jax fan. But we can move on.
Gotcha. Wait, time out. Hold on. wait, rewind. I don't know what my man was just. My man was in a whole nother stratosphere. You said she's a fan of who though?
She's starting to slowly become a fan of Nia Jax. She just likes her character. You know how the heel, just how she is with the crowd, fans, with all the other wrestlers. She likes the character.
I might need to go to church this upcoming Sunday, man. Like she needs some prayer. Like she gonna be a Nia Jax fan. She needs some prayer. But moving on. The next match up here, We had the Street Profits versus LA Knight. Well, Street Profits and LA Knight versus A Town Down Under and Carmelo Hayes. So Carmelo Hayes, newbie on the scene, coming from NXT, former NXT World Champion. And then we got Street Profits. Um, Still, I don't know if they're still with Bobby or not, but
Bobby's out right now, so
he's out again. Oh, crazy.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
LA Knight.
They're still with
Not
Bobby.
Okay. So A Town Down Under tag team, WWE Tag Team Champions. And so there's looks like so yeah they hosted an episode of the Grayson Waller Effect. They were trying to bring out someone else, but Carmelo Hayes had showed up. So Waller ended up agreeing that Hayes would be a better guest than LA Knight, and so they welcomed to the ring. Hayes tried to pitch an alliance between with three. LA Knight came out there, and then they jumped LA Knight, and then Street Profits came out for the save. And of course, we know how that ends up: six-man tag match, player. And shout out to Teddy Long. And so that match was pretty high paced. And then every good, nice little spots there. But the Street Profits and LA Knight will prevail over Theory, Waller, and Hayes. And so, pretty good match, I would say. Like to see what's going to happen with the feud, Street Profits and A Town Down Under, as well as LA Knight and Carmelo Hayes. What are your thoughts, fellas, on this?
I thought the segment for the show was amazing. And you could tell, like, when they kept saying LA Knight's name, he came out, he had the loudest pop ever. That crowd over in Saudi Arabia love Knight. They might love him more than I do. And that's saying a lot since I, watching my stuff, I take a little bit of some of his stuff. I'm sorry for stealing it. Not really. But yeah, I mean, they LA Knight and the Street Profits won. It's just building up for their feuds. I love it. I mean, I love how the first feud for Carmelo is LA. That's going to be amazing. And I think that's going to carry over to Money in the Bank because I do believe those two will be in it. I don't know who else is going to be right now in the Money in the Bank, but I do see them being in that match for the case. And I mean, Street Profits are always going to be in the tag title chase, and I think they're going to be the ones to take off of A Town down Under.
It was simple yet effective, I thought, with the promo and with the match. I thought everything was really good. They showed the flashiness, the athleticism that each wrestler has, and like you said, just building the feuds going forward. Simple yet effective booking, and you can't go wrong with that.
Don't worry, there's no awkward pause here. Big Daddy C is staring hard into his laptop.
No,
Okay.
yeah, I was just doing a little
Okay.
quick research. Yeah,
Oh, he
okay, all
frozen
right.
or what's going on?
No, I was looking because I was looking at because I was saying that it says WWE aired a video package for Blair Davenport, and the name kind of like threw me off because I was like, hold on, let me, because the name sounded familiar, and I went back just look up her profile, and I was like, oh, okay, she sounds familiar. So yeah, they aired a promo package for Blair Davenport. So it looks like she'll be debuting soon on the on SmackDown. And then let me see here. Next up, we have Bailey versus Chelsea Green.
Hang on, it's Chelsea Green.
Yeah,
You gotta get it right.
right. um, so let me see. It looks like before that, before that we had Logan Paul and Cody Rhodes. They had their final confrontation promo before the pay-per-view. Obviously, they're like trading barbs as usual, and then towards the end of that, The referee found a pair of brass knuckles in his pocket after he claimed not to have any. And so we'll go a little bit further into that later on. But in terms of the match with Bailey and Chelsea Green, it was a non-title bout. Chelsea Green took control for most of the match, like immediately. Showed a lot of aggression, surprisingly, and pretty much dominated the match until they went to commercial break. And then Bailey used her finisher, Rose Plant, to get the win. And then Piper Niven attacked Bailey like immediately, just seconds after the pin was done. And then so setting up a potential feud with her and Bailey. So excited to see what happens with that. And so, what are your thoughts, fellas, on a match and a potential feud with Bailey and Piper Niven?
First half of the match for me, I'm not gonna lie, was my piss break. Again, I drink a gallon of water. Nothing against them. Nothing against them. It's just I stay hydrated. I'm trying to cut weight. I've got a vacation. I'm trying to get down to 170. I'm at 185. So I'm working hard on this. All right. But I'm kind of intrigued because I think Piper is one of the most underrated female stars kind of right now.
Yeah.
So with this, building her up, I think it's going to be good for her career. It'd be another, heavy hitter in the women's division. And it's someone I could see that could go against Nia Jax, going on if she does win the title. So, I mean, it's just how I see it. But yeah, what's your thoughts, Coach?
I thought it was a match. What I really liked was that it was highlighting Chelsea Green as a legitimate wrestler and not just as a comedic act. Don't get me wrong, her comedy. I think she is hilarious. I think she is very underrated in the ring and on the mic. So it was just nice to see they may be starting to build her up as a kind of comedy on the mic, but serious in the ring to where she's a legitimate threat. I agree with you, Fritos, on Piper. I think probably going with a bout at Clash of the Castle because of Piper's European heritage. So I think probably be a smart booking decision, but we'll find.
All right, I think we're ready to move on, Big Daddy.
Yep. All right, so let's see here. All right, so here we are with the main event, the semifinal match for the King of the Ring tournament. Randy Orton versus Tama Tonga. Obviously, we got the Orton versus Bloodline ties to this match. In addition to KO, his issues with the Bloodline, and so earlier in the show, Paul Heyman and Solo Sikoa. They had their promo. Basically, Paul Heyman was saying, "Hey, Tungaloa is not here because he didn't get cleared. He couldn't get over in time. Or they didn't clear him because of the background check." And so it's like you're inviting.
He botched another thing.
You said what?
He botched another thing.
Yeah. And so it's like you're inviting dangerous people into the bloodline. And so Solo's like, hey, we good. We good. You ain't gotta worry about nothing. And then Tama Tonga shows up and forgot what he said specifically, but basically said this is the orders of the tribal chief. And then that they both walked away, and Paul Heyman is looking scared as usual. And so back to the main event. Paul Heyman and Solo were present to watch the battle. And then it was a nice back and forth match. Tonga held his own, but Orton being Orton, He prevailed despite despite all the the bloodline antics that come about. So Orton picked up the win. Um, he still was nursing that, some injuries, and Gunther pretty much looked on from the crowd. Um, and so basically, when I saw that, I was like, yeah, it's a good opponent for Gunther, but at this point, they're making it to where if Orton loses, well, when Orton loses is believable because of the fact that one is Gunther and two, Orton is nursing an injury and he's having back-to-back matches on Friday night and then the finals match on Saturday, which is not that far off in terms of the amount of hours in between matches. So depending on what the time frame is, but yeah. So what are you guys' thoughts on this match and how it pretty much led up to what was to come to the.
And we lost
And
Big
he's
Daddy.
gone. Okay.
That dang cat. Dang it, Whisker. Coach, I'll let you take it.
All right. I mean, it was a good match. It just got me excited for the next match for the finals between Randy Orton and Gunther. So that was my take on it. I think I was just more excited of like, okay, we're gonna get like this is almost a dream match. The Ring General versus RKO, like the Viper. This is exciting stuff. So that was my reaction to it. Fritos, what about you?
Well, I'm going to do the backstage part first. When Paul Heyman was talking about you're getting some dangerous individuals into the bloodline, my first thought was Fatu's coming up. He's got to be making an appearance. He's so close. I can feel it. The same thing with the Wyatt Six. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
With your segment because you're covering the King and the Queen, the Ring. New host. But Tonga's got I don't know what's going on with Tonga. I mean, last week or the week before, we had him doing the hyper squirrel little thing in back. And then now we had him army crawling, gorilla crawling out in the smoke. The guy's a psycho. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know if that's the character they're doing. He's just mentally unstable. And if that's what they're doing, I'm all for it. But there was a video I saw on TikTok from one of the fans in Saudi that were there. They did that to him as he was making his entrance on the ramp. They're going, we just ignored it, just kept on walking. But yeah, the match was great. We had, interference from Solo, which was expected, but Randy, overcome it. But yeah, I mean, the fact that now you have a great veteran such as Randy going against Gunther for the King of the Ring tournament, it just elevates Gunther and his legacy because they're building him up way more. But this adds more flair to Randy and his legacy going on too.
Right.
All right. Well, since the show's got to continue going on,
onward.
Sorry, Big Daddy. Moving on forward. We have the crowning of our new King and Queen of the Ring. Coach, take it away.
All right. So starting out, we had the pre-show. This was a match that was made on Smackdown the night before. It was a women's tag team title match between Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair and Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. So this match wasn't too bad. It was a good pace to it. Liked that Candice and Indy were kind of targeting Belair and her knee with everything going on. Big Daddy's back.
Yeah, my phone died and I did not see the alert saying my phone was on 10%. Otherwise, I would have put the phone charger up ahead of time. So yeah, sorry about that.
We apologize. We slandered Whiskers. We thought the cat did it.
No, I'm in my office, which means she is nowhere around to disrupt the flow.
I take back my remarks, Whiskers. I am so sorry.
Well, back to the tag match. Yeah, it was a good way to kind of build up Indy and Candice in their heel run that they're doing. But at some point, Jade was going to come in and do some damage. She did that. I love their combined finisher together, Jade and Bianca, and that was that. So solid match. It was a nice opener for what we were going to see the rest of the night. Guys, your thoughts on the women's tag team match?
Yeah, I thought it was a great match. I love that new finisher. I hope we continue to see that going on forward. And yeah, I think it was a perfect build up for Candice and Indy's, tag team, and just for what their character is. So moving on forward, I think after this, it can build them up even more. I like this new heel turn they've taken and have accepted, and it's great for their character.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty decent match. Add on to what you guys said, in terms of the development and momentum, in terms of building Indy and what's her face? What's the
Candice.
girl?
Candice.
Candice. Yeah, Indy and Candice, building them two up as a legitimate tag team, that could challenge for the titles. Again, later on, after Shayna and Zoe gets their opportunity. And so, obviously, Bianca and Jade reign supreme yet again. And I was happy. And just because you lose a tournament doesn't mean all things have to go bad. They're still champions at the end of the day, and I love it. So let's see, hopefully they can hold on to titles, up until SummerSlam. That's my prediction and hope. But yeah, I thought it was a decent match for the most part, even though they had it on the pre-show. But hopefully the next tag team championship won't be on the pre-show. Because yeah, I thought we were done with pre-show matches, but apparently not. But maybe it was just like a one-off, I guess. But yeah, I was cool with it. No piss break.
All right, moving on to the opening match, and it is the Women's World Heavyweight Championship title match between Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch. And to everyone's surprise, and especially Michael Cole's, that damn dirty Dom was out there at ringside trying to protect Mommy's championship. The match as a whole, if I'm going to be completely honest, guys, I thought was very forgettable between Liv and Becky. The only thing that was interesting was when Dom got involved and how it ended. Dom throws a chair in the ring, gives it to Becky, and says, "Hit Liv with the chair." Dom starts distracting the ref. Becky doesn't want to do that. Then Liv DDT onto the chair. Becky's out cold. 1, 2, 3. Liv Morgan accomplishes Revenge Tour mission number 1. And she is the new Women's World Heavyweight Championship. Is in big trouble with Mommy. Your guys' thoughts?
I would say I was happy to see Liv win it. Like not just her revenge tour, but I think in terms of redemption, from her last championship reign that she's had, did not go well. So now it's a lot more believable for her to be champion, because of like not only who she just took it from, but the fact of everything that led up to it. And so I think she's gotten a lot better in the ring and on her promos. Backstage promos, not so much. But I don't blame her completely for that. I blame Becky. But yeah, I think outside of that, she's good. Let's see if she can, now that she top dog. Now let's see if she can hold the fort down in the division as the head honcho. Let's see if she got what it takes to. It's one thing to win it, but can you keep it? Can you defend it? Like can you remain on top in the division? So we'll see what happens with that. Obviously Becky's going to get a rematch. I hope she loses that rematch. And so
You mean Becky Hogan?
Yeah, Becky Hogan. I expect her to lose, and then maybe we see Dom and Liv have their edge and lead a moment. You know,
Ooh.
yeah,
Minus
that would be nice.
bedroom action in the ring, hopefully.
Well, yeah. We can't do that. Not until at least not until next year when they get the Netflix when they get on Netflix.
There you go. I'm gonna say we're not in the PG era, but we're still in the TV era.
You get on Netflix, all bets are off. You can do whatever the hell you want. NXT, they it's a lot of money that they drop, so they should be allowed to do whatever the hell they want. They ain't got to have no nudes and nothing like that on there. But like, hey, let's get back to the TV 14, what it was, around that time. But yeah, I think, obviously it's going to be a little love affair, a much better love affair with Liv and Dom as opposed to what it was with Rhea and Dom. Because, yeah, they was calling each other mommy and all this other stuff and, making it seem like they all lovey-dovey. But it didn't really feel like an actual relationship. I don't know if anybody else feels that way. But it doesn't feel like an actual relationship. They've never kissed on screen. Come on. Like, but I think with him and Liv, it might be, they might go that route. So, but yeah, man, I was cool with it. I hope they do right by Liv and not make her weak like they did the last time she won a championship. No Ronda Rousey this time. So that's good. So yeah, I'm cool with it. I'm excited to see how far she goes with this, and I would like down the road, at least before Rhea comes back, hopefully, depending on where this certain person I'm about to mention, where she's at in her personal life, I would like to see a feud with Liv Morgan and Alexa Bliss.
Ooh.
That'd
be money.
That would feed families. Okay.
Oh.
All right. That would provide a lot of dopamine for a lot of fellas, so
like you.
yeah.
Now you're what is it? Yeah. What's your little title say? You're Liv Sugar Daddy. So yeah, that would feed you.
Liv Morgan's sugar daddy, to be exact. But yeah,
she is single.
Oh, really?
She has stated that she is single now.
Oh man, her and damn man, feel bad for my boy Bo Dallas. I thought they was dating last time.
Not anymore.
Damn,
slide in.
That's tough.
Slide in, Claude.
Hey, I just might. I'll do. But yeah, continue on. Back to the recap.
Fritos, your thoughts?
I thought it was a pretty good match. I mean, I knew Dom was going to play some effect because he had a little bit backstage moment with Liv saying he's going to do everything he can to protect Mommy's belt. The chair part threw me off. Then, bam, Liv winning from that distraction. So it's, building up great with the storyline with Dom, Rhea, and Liv, but also adding that Becky little flair because afterwards we had a little segment. Didn't spoil it. Sorry, guys. Where Becky's mad. I know her contract was supposed to be up, but did she mention about her resigning her contract? I think Monday, right? She mentioned something about contract.
She said she has a rematch clause in her contract.
Yeah.
So
okay. So
now I'm wondering if they're bringing rematch clauses back for.
Yeah, because remember they once upon a time they stopped doing that, and so it looks like it's back now in the Triple H era, which is no surprise. Because knowing him, if he had lost the title, he definitely would have had his rematch. In this business.
But yeah, I mean, I'm happy she had her moment. And the first feud she's got is Becky with that clause, whatever. And I'm just curious who's going to be the next one up right after that. Because that's probably going to be Clash of the Castle. With Becky's Irish heritage, are going to try to keep many European stars on that card. I mean,
her losing that Clash of the Castle, it would make it even more better for me. Yeah, that'd be great.
They'll build up more, especially with that Hill character, her being Becky
Oh,
there.
the heat will be ridiculous.
So I'm
Yeah.
happy with that. And moving on forward, I'm looking forward to the love triangle going on. And just to clarify, Mommy, I'm sorry that you lost your title twice. I'm here for you. I would never throw a chair in. I would never distract. I would do something different to make sure that title stayed on Becky for you. Don't worry.
You know what else? Rhea,
What?
you know what else Fritos wouldn't do? He wouldn't he wouldn't he wouldn't post a picture of himself laying on your cheeks on the beach in Saudi Arabia. He would he would he would remove himself from the picture and allow the glory of your cheeks to embrace the entire world with the tattoos and everything just glistening like he would not be selfish like Murphy, okay?
That dirty bastard.
That dirty bastard Murphy, that damn dirty Murphy, that like the nerve, the audacity, man. Like how the world feels about this woman and her cheeks, and you gonna post a picture of yourself laying on her cheeks and just going just mad flex. That was an unnecessary flex, sir. We get it. You're her fiance. All right. Like you don't need to put your head on her cheeks. No, we get it. You own them. Okay. We get it. You don't have to rub it in our faces, man. We get it. Okay. But have some sympathy for us, man. She's already injured. We want her back on TV. And what do you? This is what you do. But go ahead. I'm sorry. I went on a tangent. I'm sorry. I just had to get
You
that off my
literally were in
chest.
my mind. You were in my mind.
I
Thank
had to
you.
get that off my chest, man. God damn
You
it,
got it off
Murphy.
of both our chests. Thank you for doing that. But we can move on.
Bill has the great Taz says, but I digress. All right. Moving on to our next match, it is the triple threat intercontinental title match between Big Bronson Reed, aka Maui, versus Perk Chad Gable with Otis at ringside and Sami Zayn, the home country hero. And this one I thought was a fantastic match. Lots of great spots. Loved the double suplex that Gable did with Reed, also suplexing Sami. Sami hitting the Blue Thunder Bomb on Reed because you don't think that could happen.
That was amazing.
And then the big one outside of the ring, Otis taking out Reed and then leaving just Gable and Sami, but Gable feeling like he needs another upper hand instead of going one-on-one, sends Sami out and tells Otis to take care of Sami too. Well, then you get that conflict of Otis. Is he heel? Is he still a face? Gable goes off on him, slaps him in the face, ticks Otis off. So Otis finally goes to take out Sami, only for Sami to duck out of the way and Gable to get clotheslined by Otis. And the crowd went wild.
I went wild.
All that happening, Sami gets back in the ring with Reed, hits a hula of a kick. 1, 2, 3, Sami retains. Guys, your thoughts?
Honestly, this was by far my favorite match and probably the best match on the card. From everything, from all the athleticism, from just their strength, like that triple suplex going on with Chad. You know he's a freak of nature, but doing that, wow. Then with the Blue Thunder Bomb from Sami doing on Reed, of all people, him being a large man, just Jesus Christ, pure strength. Just someone that you don't expect from Sami. Because when we're in the Springfield show, someone in the crowd, some teenagers screaming, "Cover the dad bod." So guess what? He's got that dad strength for sure. Then the Otis little bit, it just makes that whole storyline with him and Chad more interesting because I personally think they're going to be breaking up soon. And I think the first feud's going to be Chad and Otis going against each other. And that's where we get the new faction with the Creed brothers, since they did that little Easter egg on Raw with them.
Big Daddy.
Uh, I was good. I didn't react to it, but it's just when Coach said it. I was.
I had to. I was like, I was literally thinking to myself, you know what? I have never done this yet. I'm going to do it to him today. I'm going to do it.
Oh yeah,
I'm so
definitely.
proud of you. I'm so proud of you, my wise man.
Definitely best match on the card, man. Like this was before I even finished the rest of the pay-per-view. I was just like, yeah, this is the best match, and I feel like there's been a theme as of late. Like the mid card title matches have been a lot. They've been better than like the main event, like championship matches, the world championship matches, and so because it's like you get more out of like the wrestlers that aren't main eventing, so they're trying their best to put on the best like match of the card because they're not in the main event. And so I feel like in this case, you got three of these guys. You got two. Um, you got one seasoned vet in Sammy. At this point, I feel like he's pretty much a seasoned vet compared to Chad and um, Reed, Bronson Reed, who I like to call Maui from Moana because he looks exactly like Maui. Uh, hair and everything. The looks, it just looks like Maui. If he dressed up like Maui for Halloween, you'll believe it was him. But
I can see it.
yeah, it was a great match. Man, like Maui, he that dude can move in the ring, man. Seeing like high flying, jumping outside the ring, like suicide dives, all that. I'm like, this dude got it, man. Like, I'm like,
He's a freak
they
athlete.
yes, like, and that's what I love about this current. Like, I remember, seeing like the bigger guys of the past. Like, I think the first big man to really be like somewhat of a high flyer, do high flyer. What was it, Bam Bam Bigelow, ECW?
Yes.
Yep.
He was like the first person I've seen really do like high flying moves, moonsaults, all this other stuff.
Which
And
he has
then
a great episode on Dark Side of the Ring too, talking about
yeah,
all this.
yeah, I think I've seen a little bit of that one. But yeah, like just now seeing it more often because like it took like after him, there's like a long period of time where we didn't see like super heavyweights move in the ring like that. Like you may see it like every once in a blue moon, Big Show will, like jump off the top or the second rope, do like a splash, which is stupid because he never connects. And and then but now you got these younger athletic big men that like you know that are like showing off their skills, like doing moonsaults and like jumping outside the ring, suicide dives, like doing the little sentons. Like I remember, I know KO did it. It was somebody else that did a front flip. Oh, one of the Viking Raiders. He did
Ivar.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
Ivar.
he did the front flip out over the
He's a
top.
freak
I'm like,
athlete too for a big
bro,
guy.
like I'm like, man, can you imagine we had this like in the like attitude era or like in the early like the ruthless aggression? We had some that could do it, but not all of them. Like they weren't doing this. They were not doing this. Like now you had to go to the indie scenes, like the indie companies to find those guys,
Mhm.
but like they weren't on WWE. You probably had to catch them in TNA, whatever, because Samoa Joe was doing just that. And that's when I was really seeing a lot more big guys like be athletic. So Steve Bronson Reed, who's a little bit bigger, than Samoa Joe, some of the other guys in the past. But he's a lot more fit and more athletic. Seeing him doing what he did, and Sammy, pulling out old Sammy moves with his high flying and stuff. Like I was like, man, he used to have a lot more height, a lot more athleticism on that jump outside the ring. And so, but I'm like, he still got it though. So, and then obviously Chad Gable doing his thing with the moonsaults, SummerSlams. Not SummerSlams, the German suplexes. I'm thinking about SummerSlam, man. I'm just like,
It's
it's
around
in
the
my mind
corner.
right now. Yeah. And so, but yeah, all like most of his move set is like adapted from Kurt Angle's, so it's almost like he's this generation's like version of Kurt Angle, like he's adapting that. and I hope that Kurt Angle like manages him someday. I don't know
You talked
if it
about
ever
it. He
happened.
wants
Yeah,
to.
yeah, I remember you mentioned it, and I was like, I hope it happens. I feel like Triple H will let that happen. It's just the right matter of just if it's the right timing for it. But yeah, best match on the card, man, for sure.
All right, moving on to our Queen of the Ring finale between Lyra Valkyria and Nia Jax. And this match went about what you expected to happen. Lyra, being the young underdog, undersized, did her best to stay in the match. You could see her trying everything she can. Nia was just too big. And then, right when you think Valkyria has the edge and she is going to do a sunset flip power bomb, she gets crushed.
That's an
And
understatement. Like,
yeah, I know. I couldn't think of a word to describe what we witnessed. I will say this.
It was a train hitting a small car. That's what it was.
I will say this. When I saw that happen, I was sitting on my couch. I saw that happen. I immediately got up and I was like, "Oh God, she's dead."
yeah.
They killed him. They killed her. My dear God, they killed her.
Hey, it was like watching watching that episode of Dragon Ball Z when Yamcha got the works put on him, and you got that one scene where it's just like the ground was like it was like a dent put in the ground, and Yamcha just laying there dead. That's exactly what
When the
happened.
Saberman killed him and blows up, and he's just
yes. Lyra just sitting there, just like Pommel, just like I'm like, damn. Like,
so
yeah,
that's why they went with her instead of Io Sky. Because if it was Io, we probably wouldn't have Io Sky anymore.
Nia would have put a hole in the ring, bro. Like,
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Either way, Nia Jax, Queen of the Ring, she now gets a championship opportunity at SummerSlam, and she has already said that she will be going for the women's world title, which is
they get to choose?
Yeah, she chose or I should say, the WWE Women's Championship, currently being by Bayley at SummerSlam. So, guys, your thoughts on that match, or did we kind of already cover it?
We covered it already. I didn't know they can choose. I thought it was just they go after whatever show that they're on. I didn't know that they get to choose which championship they want to go after. Because in that case, I thought Gunther would have went after Cody. But yeah, I'm not even gonna call it a piss break because it was the match was a given. We knew who was gonna win, so I ain't even gonna call it a piss break because it was just like just because of the way it ended.
And Coach is down. Nia took him out.
Oh, Coach! Coach
I just did
for the count.
I just did the Nia slam on my chair.
Oh man, yeah. Oh shit!
Jesus.
Oh man. But yeah, it was a given. Yeah, I think I'm shocked she didn't go out to Liv because Liv probably. Yeah, actually, no, I'm glad she didn't go out to Liv because that means her and Becky would come into each other's crosshairs again. I don't want that ever to happen again. I was tired of seeing them two go at it, so I'm glad she chose Bayley because stay your ass on SmackDown. Don't come back to Raw. So yeah, I was happy she chose. I'm glad to know she chose Bayley because But that was an alright match. It's a nice finish, even though she. Oh man, I'm sure Lyra had to feel it the next day. Like
she's probably still feeling it,
bro. Oh, she's definitely still feeling it.
That's damn near 400 pounds crashing down on your sternum, everything. Like no, no, Io would have died though, low key. Like because that's a hard that side of the ring, that corner of the ring is where most of the wood is. So like and like I still see like a hole being put in the ring, even on that part of the ring
It's
by
heavily
Nia.
supported.
Yeah, yeah. I just mm-mm. Yeah. Plus, she don't need to be back. She don't need to be doing. Mm-mm. She had her time. She good. Go back to NXT.
For me, I liked Lyra's entrance, but the first thought I saw with the crow wings was
Mhm.
It's Always Sunny episode, The Birds of War.
I've never watched that show, to be honest with you.
Watch it. It is fantastic. Especially that episode. I'm the trash man. Great little reference there. But yeah, I mean, I thought Lyra, like the whole match, I thought Lyra held on pretty well. And I think that's good for her build up. The fact that she held on for so long against Nia.
Mhm.
And we all knew Nia was going to win. And I saw something on X where they said this is actually a great for Nia. It's a redemption arc, if you kind of will think about it. From her, everyone being negative about her getting cut and all that, and now coming back, building up all this heat. She's done decent work, I thought, since her return. I've not been like overly ecstatic, but I think she's done pretty good work right now in the ring. So I think now with being the queen of the ring and getting a championship, it's just helping her out a lot more and maybe help her career boost up a little bit further.
Fritos.
What? I'm being nice.
I'm surprised you ain't mentioned the obvious, man. The elephant in the room.
What's the elephant in the room?
You just find you think it's just a weird coincidence that she's getting a push, just fresh off, a certain family member of hers
No,
being
no,
a
no,
part being a part of the board.
no, not
You
at
don't think
all.
you don't think it's just a weird coincidence? You think it's just yeah, that old Dwayne, ain't got a part in this. You don't think Dwayne pulling the
No.
strings for this woman?
What are you talking about?
You think it's all just Triple H making? You think it's just all Triple H?
I mean, yes, Dwayne's having some help, but at the same time, I think she's improved than her first run with the company. You can at least admit that.
Just hope she doesn't injure anyone. Okay. Because
Well,
we know she has a knack for injury.
Well, we'll check on Lyra later.
We'll find out Monday.
We gonna find out for sure. So cause we just add Lyra on her and Bianca to the list of people that Nia has legitimately injured. So we'll see what happens with that.
All right, moving on to our King of the Ring finals match between Gunther and Randy Orton. And I know you guys said the IC title was your favorite match, and while I did love it, this one was my match of the night. Mainly because it had that old school feel of grapple wrestling and the mind games, especially Randy taking 10 minutes to get to the ring. And
He's pulling a page from Roman.
yeah, I mean that was
The
that was a little much. That was a little much. They had to restart the song twice.
The OG of long entrances to the ring, Undertaker for sure. But yeah, go ahead.
But just the methodical approach by both men, and wasn't really a lot of high flying stunts. Gunther got on the top rope once or twice, hit a splash once, and then missed the second time, which led right into a RKO. And while that didn't do away with them, you would notice that Gunther was targeting Randy's bad knee from the night before, like you had mentioned there, C, from to help kind of protect Randy going forward. And right when you think Gunther's got it, RKO out of nowhere. And that's got to be it, because nobody kicks out of 2 RKOs. But Randy, because he can't put any pressure on his knee for a pin, can barely get his weight on. Gunther kicks out and then pins Randy on a roll-up for a 1-2-3 to become the new king of the ring. But
Did he though?
you see on the replay, Randy had his shoulders up. Controversy taking place. Triple H eventually addressed it at the end, saying that the decision is final, that Gunther did win the match, but that if Randy wants a rematch, he will be granted a rematch. And I think that's setting up for Gunther versus Randy at Clash at the Castle.
Ooh.
Guys, your thoughts on this match?
I thought it was the second best match of the night. Obviously, when it comes to Gunther, his matches just be on point, top tier. They don't call him ring general for nothing, man. Like anybody he's in the ring with, like it's gonna be one hell of a match, man. And so, it was what better person for him to go against and defeat, for the King of the Ring than Randy Orton, one of the greatest of all time. Seasoned veteran in the ring. While he may not be 100%, especially with his history, back legitimate history of like back issues, and I know the knee injury, it's kind of like a work, but I just feel like this was the best person he could have went against out of everyone else that was in the tournament. In my opinion, I think Orton was the best person for him to beat. So I'm glad it was a great match overall. And so, congrats to Gunther. He's no longer IC champion, but with him being the king of the ring, as I was talking about a few weeks back, it's time for him to go ahead and pursue the world championship, world heavyweight championship. And so he now gets that opportunity. It'll come at SummerSlam. So can't wait to see what happens, to see if he ends up becoming world champion.
Before we, I go further. We did have a little backstage thing. I think it was a Friday night or in the pay-per-view where Randy and Cody had a little moment teasing.
Oh, that was Friday, yeah.
That was Friday. So teasing for a potential feud between them two. So hopefully we get Hill Randy back. But yeah, I thought the match was amazing. It was my 2A favorite match. Waiting for that little cheap laugh from you. But no, it was my second favorite match of the night. And I loved everything. I mean, this helps, Gunther to, push his career further. They're high on the guy. You could tell from that long IC being Honky Tonk Man and now winning King of the Ring and challenging World Heavyweight, which the World Heavyweight title picture going on is kind of insane if you think about it. We got Damian and Drew, which we all believe Drew's going to win. Then SummerSlam, you're going to have him and Gunther. I personally believe that CM Punk's going to be involved, and it's going to be a triple threat match. Drew's going to be blinded by his anger and just focus on Punk, not even worry about Gunther. And me and Claude were Big Daddy C. Sorry there. Me and Big Daddy C were talking, and he had an idea for a match for SummerSlam with it. What was your idea?
So basically, just thinking about all like the variables in this whole situation. You got Gunther having his match at SummerSlam, and you got Drew who's going to go against Damian at Clash. And at this point, I think we all agree that Drew is going to win. And so Damian is going to want to get his rematch. And so now then you throw Punk into the equation. Now, unless they have Punk cost Drew the championship at Clash, then that sets up another match with Drew or the first match with Drew and CM Punk. That might be the alternative. But what I was thinking is that all of those four wanting to be world champion, it just all comes to a head and they end up having a fatal four-way match at SummerSlam, which obviously, SummerSlam, you want big time matches. And what better way to have a big time match than to have a fatal four-way with your four top guys on overall: Damian, Gunther, CM Punk, Drew. And so I think that could be a possibility. Because I don't know whether or not Drew beats if Drew beats Damian or if Damian retains. I don't know if you can sell um, either of those two going against Gunther, for the world title at SummerSlam. I don't know if you can sell that compared to like a triple threat or a fatal four way. So I think ultimately there will be a triple threat, at the very least a triple threat match at SummerSlam for the World Heavyweight Championship. Who um, outside of like Drew or Damian and Gunther, like who the third person is going to be remains to be seen. Or we never know what's going to happen, but anything can happen in WWE nowadays. Like Triple H be cooking, man. So he'll always he may miss on a few decisions, but
Which he did this weekend. I thought I'll talk about it after
yeah.
the
So
main.
he'll miss on a few decisions, but for the most part, he makes a lot more than he misses. So I trust him, to whip up something crazy for Cleveland. And then I see they've already announced next year. Got 2 nights, SummerSlam in Minneapolis. I would imagine it's going to be at the bank stadium. What's the name of the bank thing? Is it I forgot. I know it's
I have
bank
no
something.
idea.
Yeah,
Where
but
the
it's
Vikings play,
yeah,
right?
what a Viking. Yeah, their stadium.
That dumpster. That dumpster of a stadium. Yeah,
Hey, it's better than Lambeau. Better than Lambeau Field. That's
you
trash.
better watch your mouth. They allow
Ooh.
smoking in the stands.
That's
That is
trash.
true
That's
freedom right there.
trash.
They are America's team right there, allowing smoking in the stands. Freedom, USA,
America's.
USA.
Oh, allowing smoking in the stands, of course. That trash dump over there. It wouldn't surprise me that you're allowing people to smoke there. Okay, but yeah, I digress. But yeah, man, I like I can't wait to see what happens. You know, with this feud. Well, with Orton, see what happens with him and Cody, and see what happens with Damian, Drew, and Gunther. Um, so yeah,
Which honestly, to me, with Randy, I think it's the first time he's got a legit build up for a feud. Because the past 2 feuds have been just quick ones, kind of just wish wash for me. So I feel like with the
mostly
Randy one,
bloodline related. Like, because a lot of it was tied up into the bloodline stuff. Because it was like you had after Survivor Series, everything was just bloodline related, really. So now he finally gets to have a feud. I know he's not done with the bloodline. We'll see what happens from here on out, but hopefully he'll have his next once he's done with them officially, and he finally addresses Cody. Um, gets his world title opportunity. I don't know who Cody's gonna go against now. Um, now that he's done with Logan Paul. But I just hope that ultimately him and Randy are the next big feud going into SummerSlam.
All right, moving on to our main event, which
pause.
Fritos.
That's where I'm going to step in. Pay-per-view is called King and Queen of the Ring. Why isn't one of those matches the main event? Nothing against Cody and Logan. They put on a banger, but the King and Queen should have been the main event for this pay-per-view. Sorry, back to it.
Nope, I was just going to say that. I was just about to say that this shouldn't have been the main event because your literal pay-per-view headline should have been the main event. But we digress. Moving on to this match, a very methodical pace at first. you talk about how Logan Paul's athleticism is great, and it's unmatched. And you think clean, it's going clean both ways. Then all of a sudden, he breaks out the brass knuckles, to which Michael Cole starts going off after he punches Cody in the ribs with the brass knuckles. And I don't know if you guys are thinking this, but it might have teased a Corey Graves comeback against Logan Paul,
I saw
because the
that.
way he stepped in to protect Cole from Logan Paul, that got me a little excited. I was thinking, okay, this might be a seed that could grow, but further on down the line, we'll get into that. But as that starts to develop, then the announce table start getting involved. Cody hits the Cody cutter on Paul on the English announce table. Then the Saudi announce table gets taken out with a frog splash by Logan Paul from the top rope onto Cody. And once again, Logan Paul in the ring tries to use the brass knuckles. Cody catches him this time, hits him with 3 crossroads, pins him, and that is the end of the pay-per-view. And again, I emphasize, that is the end of the pay-per-view, and nothing else happened like we thought something was going to happen, or should have happened.
Yeah, I should have known that was going to be the end because they had a QR code. I think it was the IC title match. So they got my hopes up. I was hoping for Wyatt 6. That's what everyone was talking about. This is probably one of Triple H's one misses. He, makes a bunch of them. This is his one miss. He should have pulled the trigger. They should have came out. But it is what it is. But about the match, I thought it was a great match. Really, it was a banger. Banger after banger after banger. Logan's really proven to himself, or proven to me, that he's a freak athlete and deserves to be WWE. And I mean, his U.S. title run's been decent. What? What was that?
Sorry. I'm like multitasking. I'm watching the Timberwolves versus Mavericks.
Oh, I thought you were doing that because of me after that comment.
No, it was a crazy alley oop. Luka just threw to Daniel Gafford. So this game is pretty much over.
See, we cover more than just wrestling, folks.
Yeah.
We do basketball and other sports and nerd stuff. I did my Pokemon stuff.
Sorry to my Minnesota fans. They're y'all about to get swept.
Yep.
3-0 right now. Yep. But go ahead, my bad.
You're good. But you're talking about Corey Graves. I was hoping for a Michael Cole return back in the ring.
Oh, no.
I was hoping for that.
No.
We need him back in the ring.
At this point, anything can happen because, like, Edge came back, Daniel Bryan came back, Kurt Angle had some matches, Stone Cold had a match. I mean, it depends on how they book who he's wrestling against, if they're able to carry him, or it really depends. I mean, like, unless the doctor really told you straight up, like, hey, you ain't wrestling no more. It's over. Like, you take one bad bump, it's over. And like, unless he's gotten that type of news, I don't rule anything out at this point, man. Because the fact that Edge came back, he's still wrestling. Like,
I mean, Adam Copeland.
Yeah, Adam Copeland. Like, the fact that he came back, he was able to wrestle, and he probably had a hell of more of a significant neck injury than Graves, like probably several. And then with Bryan Danielson having like a history of concussions, neck injuries, etc., like, he's still wrestling. Granted, it's different because they're both now in AEW and they don't wrestle as much because they got that, it's a different luxury over there at AEW compared to how the old WWE used to be. Like, it's not taxing on their bodies, but anything can happen. I think Corey Graves can come back and wrestle, man. I think it can happen. I would like to see it. I did see that, how he stood up for Michael Cole, so that was pretty interesting development there. You know, anything can happen
Mhm.
in wrestling. So I wouldn't rule it out, man. I would not rule it out.
Yep. All right, gentlemen. Well, I think it's about time for us to log off because we've got a pay-per-view to watch. Double or nothing for AEW. We got some exciting matches. And before we log off, please.
Wait a
Whoa,
minute.
whoa,
Hold
whoa,
on.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Wait.
What?
Hang on.
Did you take a break for it this week, or you gonna wait till Mike comes back next week?
I'm gonna wait till Virgil comes back. I'm sorry, there's no
Okay.
Fritos Stay 5.
I was like, are we
Oh.
forgetting something here?
I
Whoa, I
know.
was like, hang on
I
a
did
second.
last week.
I was
This week's
like,
been crazy for me, folks. I
okay, all right.
apologize. No Fritos Stay 5.
All right.
I do apologize. This producing thing's not easy. So I give credit to Virgil, producer
Yeah,
Mike.
hey, you held your own, man. Hey, props to you. Hey, I
Yeah,
could
good
not
job,
do
Fritos.
it. I'm
Thank
like,
you.
I would need a crap ton of training to pull this off. So you definitely did your thing in Mike's absence. So
On the edge of my seat,
Well,
basically.
hey,
yeah.
Fritos, I'll help out with your Fave 5 right now. I mean, we got 1A and 1B right here happening in this show. We have A being Big Daddy C getting all worked up with a possible Liv Morgan and Alexa Bliss match. And, of course, anything with Jade and Bianca go crazy. And then you got 1B, me falling on my ass.
Right.
That's honestly number one. Nia Jax's ghost took you out.
Hey, speaking of the women, Fritos got his fave 5, but I'm thinking we should introduce a new segment
Ooh.
specifically for me.
Oh God.
Oh, geez.
ranking my top 3 women of the week with WWE and AEW. I give AEW
They need some love.
Yeah,
Even though
that means I have to
crap
watch
on
them.
them, but they deserve some love too.
Yeah, I got to figure out an official name for it. I'm gonna do some thinking tonight and tomorrow and come up with like a little top 3 name or top 3 or top 5 of my favorite women or whatever I decide, and we go from there. So I'll run it by Mike, see what he thinks, and that way we can have two top 5s to look forward to throughout the show. Adding and coaching whenever if you want to have your segment, you can have your own segment. Yeah, we can all eventually have our own segment of like our favorite spots or whatever our things are in the show. So
don't worry, I got Tanks. Tanks top bananas. It's all nothing but male wrestlers. And shots of their crotches. He's gonna hate me when he comes back. We might
all right,
throw him. Oh man. Yeah, it was a good
take
episode,
us home, Fritos.
Yeah, take us
but
home.
anyways,
Man.
thank you for tuning into the podcast. Please, we need some help by share, and subscribe to our channel. That is kind of slow. I thought it was gonna be faster. But anyways, thank you for tuning in. I'm Fritos taking over hosting duties with Coach and Big Daddy C. Please tune in next week. Thanks for coming. Bye. Yep.